Hello, and thank you for joining us on Giving Voice to Depression. I'm Bridget.
And I'm Terry. More than 350 million people worldwide suffer from depression, but you do not have to have it yourself to be affected by it. Its prevalence pretty much guarantees that someone you care about battles its darkness.
This podcast tries to shine some light into that darkness. We're not experts, and we're not therapists. We're sisters and best friends who live with depression and who are committed to encouraging healthy, healing conversations about mental illness. Hi, Terry.
Hello, Bridget.
Today we're going to talk with a new mother about her experience with postpartum depression. And then next week we're going to talk to a mother about antepartum, which means actually being depressed during the pregnancy.
Intense times, all the highest highs and the lowest lows.
Yes.
We begin with Lisa.
No matter what stage you're at, it seems like everyone else has got it pretty much figured out. I know that they don't, but to watch other people's lives unfold while you're trying to get yours together that's just really hard. And then with that, the pressure to do everything perfectly while feeling and appearing positive about it. When in reality, I'm in my head screaming, this is hard.
Lisa is a first-time mother from Minneapolis, and she's talking about adjusting to her new role as 8-month-old Madeline's mother.
She is the most incredible baby. She has had a happy temperament since the day she was born. She's lively. Yeah. She's lively, curious, eats well, sleeps well, and is like just the brightest spot in my life. And I thought going into it that the baby part was going to be the hard part of becoming a mom. And it turns out that it's the me part.
The me part for Lisa has included depression and anxiety.
I think that I've had 2 waves. Well, the first was more in the realm of depression. It was in the beginning. It was sort of this dark fog where I feel like I was mourning the loss of our old life, realizing that this transition was forever. And I think I was in a fog and felt like it would never lift. And then it did lift, and life felt stable, as we kind of got used to it, and hormones regulated, I think. And I got to know my sweet, amazing daughter, and never wanted things to be any different. And then more recently, it's taken on a new wave of anxiety, I think, and I keep trying to define it, right? I always try to do that and say, this is why this is happening.
Of course.
Lisa is convinced one reason it's happening is because of societal pressures and stigma and a reluctance to be real about things that are real.
If I were to say out loud to someone that I was experiencing postpartum depression and anxiety, people would worry for Madeline's safety or for having, a mom who's on edge. Because I think people have a stigma, right, that is postpartum depression means that you want to, hurt your baby or that you want to hurt yourself. And while those are definitely real things that happen, neither of those things are playing into this for me. It's a totally different level. And so I feel like I can't tell people that this is happening.
And of course she feels that way, because we're barely allowed to say that we didn't enjoy every aspect of the miracle of birth.
Thinking back on the birth, the stigma behind using drugs, I was induced, so it was particularly grueling. And so many women say that it was the best day of their life. And still, I think back, and it's a very scary, dark weekend for me. And I feel guilty about that because it was not the best day of my life.
But all of this, like any darkness, would be a little easier to handle and understand and make peace with if we could see and discuss the experience as a shared one.
Yeah, when I see other moms, I'm like, I want to shake you and be like, what's going on with you and how hard is it for you? Not this is what's, we just got our first tooth and, how are you for real?
And hopefully, Lisa's honesty will prompt a few people to ask new parents that question, and a few new parents to answer it honestly.
In the end, it's you and your baby. No amount of reading or support groups or yoga are going to really change the fact that I'm a mom and she's my daughter. It's a beautiful thing. That's beautiful.
And are you a really good mom?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I am.
Yay.
Yeah. So that's my story.
And it's a story that 1 in 7 mothers of newborns experience. And no one's talking about it.
No.
Oh, thanks, Lisa.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I know this was a really good thing to ponder and to talk about. And I appreciate so much what you're doing.
Well, it definitely stirs things up, and I'm actually a big proponent of stirring things up. It's not always comfortable, but it does kind of make you gain a little clarity in the process, I think. And I just
totally,
by no means am I offering advice, except just love yourself through it, because the people who act like they know what they're doing are being fake. Nobody knows what they're doing, and. Mm-hmm. I just applaud those of us who are walking around going like, and talking about it. I do.
Somebody help me.
Exactly. And somebody listen to me, and somebody love me, and somebody else tell me that they're going through it.
Yes. Yep.
Which is what you're doing. Thank you.
And you are too. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It was a great conversation. Lisa's honesty and clarity and willingness to just put it out there was inspiring. She's a great lady.
It's just whether we're talking about pregnancy or whether we're talking about depression itself or whether we're just talking about life, it is all so much easier to deal with when you don't think you're the only one dealing with it.
Exactly. And it's pretty easy to do. It doesn't cost anything. It's a relief on your own system when you come clean and are honest. It's just doable.
But I don't know if it's easy
doable.
because you're being vulnerable, and that's not easy for a lot of people. And what if you say to the wrong person, I just hate this, I'm just losing it. And they go, what's wrong with you? Or, I don't want my child playing there. I mean, there are risks.
No, you're absolutely right. I didn't mean easy. I meant simple.
Yes, I agree. I want to point out one thing. When I Googled postpartum depression, one of the things that came up is a postnatal depression scale. I happened to find this one, and we'll put a link for it on postpartumhealthalliance.org. And it's a 10-question, scale or questionnaire to find out if you have depression, if you think you do. And it's questions like, I've been able to laugh and see the funny side of things, and then you answer as much as I always could, not quite so much, definitely not so much, not at all. I felt scared or panicky for no good reason. Things have been getting on top of me, difficulty sleeping, down to the last doozy, of course, which is thoughts of harming myself have occurred. So it's definitely worth taking and just finding out, because, again, it's that line that we explored a couple podcasts back, between sad and blue or hormonal and depressed. And they have different treatments.
They do. And I'm a Pinterest fanatic. And by the way, we do have a Pinterest board called givingvoicetodepression.com if anyone wants to look at that. And a quote that really caught my attention was, postnatal depression is an illness, not a reflection of you as a woman or you as a mother.
Amen.
Having raised 2 kids myself and looking back on it as an incredibly challenging and sort of endless time, for me at least, I would just really like to encourage new mothers to get out in the sun and ask for help. Just make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because, that old put the oxygen mask on your face first thing. You can't do a good job if you're completely depleted. And at least from my vantage point, it's a completely depleting time. So take care of yourselves.
Take care of yourselves and get some sleep.
We hope that our podcasts bring about a little more understanding or help people articulate their experience of depression a little more. And thanks to each and every person who's digging deep and finding the words and finding the courage to give voice to depression.
And you can find our podcasts on our website, givingvoicetodepression.com, as well as on iTunes, where we hope you will subscribe, rate, and respectfully comment.
And please remember, if you're hurting, speak up. If someone else is hurting, listen up.